Attention sports bettors. Are you looking for a legal way to do it in your state? Well, we have the app for you. Use the Better Edge app. And if you don't know what the Better Edge app is, it is a legal online social betting marketplace that allows you to post and engage with some of your other sports betting fans and friends. You can place no commission positions in an online marketplace, compete in direct head-to-head challenges with people like Cam, myself, Wags. All the 10K guys and gals are on there. So send us all of your picks. We can compete in public or private betting competitions. And with all of this, you can buy or sell the positions like the spread, the over-under money line at current market prices. So if you want to get involved in the Better Edge app today, go to bettoredge.com and use promo code 10K. That's 10K when you sign up to get a free $20. Once again, bettoredge.com, promo code 10K. We got a lot of awesome stuff coming up, fellas. March Madness just right around the corner. The final stretch with NBA, NHL playoffs. And there's plenty of golf and other stuff on, so make sure to once again go to bettoredge.com. Use promo code 10K when you sign up to get a free $20. We'll start betting with you today. On today's episode of It's a Bit, we're joined by up-and-coming country music singer from Minnesota, Anderson Daniels. Me and him go way back, so it's great to catch up with him and talk about everything he's up to. We also go over our bits of the week as always. And end the show with buy or sell. We're buying or selling things, people, places like their stocks. So all of that and more on It's a Bit. All right, welcome back to It's a Bit, presented by 10,000 Takes. My name is Bossman, joined by journalist Jake and producer Cam. And thank God we all live together in the house where the studio is, or we'd all probably be on Zoom right now because it's a goddamn snowmageddon outside.
Dun, dun, dun.
I feel like we open every week talking about the weather, but the weather's been bipolar enough lately where I think it deserves some discussion.
It's a Midwest, more importantly, a Minnesota podcast, so that's just what we're supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we're just doing our due diligence. That's our quota.
And last week, you had the spring tease bit.
Yeah.
And when we recorded that, we had no idea that this up to 23 inches of snow was coming. So you were spot on with that prediction that, hey, we're not out of it yet. The groundhog was correct.
Still fuck that groundhog.
Yeah.
Yes, he was correct.
Yeah.
Apparently it's 6 weeks away still. Well, from when you see the groundhog and when winter ends. But we're meteorologists now. We open up with a weather report.
Yep.
I'll tell you right now, it just started, and it actually died down a little bit right now, but it's going to get bad. And I just drove from my workplace in Brooklyn Park to White Bear Lake all the way back to Plymouth, and it was fucking awful. Like, people are already driving like idiots.
So shout out to, I don't know who the meteorologist who posted this is. I think we follow him on Twitter, but this is 5 Eyewitness News. He had this little map drawn out. I don't know if I sent this to you guys in our house chat.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So basically it breaks down each day of the snowstorm and has either a red, green, or yellow dot indicating how the roads are going to be. And it's red for like the next 6 time periods straight. And they say the roads will finally be okay Friday morning, and they'll be good again come Friday p.m., which is bananas because we're recording this on Tuesday night.
Dude.
Early Tuesday night.
It's stupid.
This is god-awful.
You know what's going to be hilarious? When it doesn't snow again the rest of the week.
Yeah.
Everyone's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, you mean it's just not going to snow again tomorrow?
Yeah, like it's just done.
Yeah.
Well,
I could totally see
it's
that
definitely
happening.
possible.
Yeah.
It
This
could
is Minnesota. I mean,
just
shit happens.
Wake up and it's done. It's like, oh, yeah, that all moved south.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not happening anymore.
Texas
Get
got
an inch.
all of it.
Yeah.
This was just
Oh,
a marketing
jeez.
stint by all the grocery stores because everyone rushed to them to buy all their quote-unquote supplies.
For doomsday, even though things going to be fine Friday morning.
All the salt companies in the world just had to hit their quota for the month, so
They paid off all the news
Those
stations.
big fat executives are just sitting back collecting their bankroll now.
Hey, the meteorologists, they don't know shit anyway. We can just tell them this and we'll be fine. Tell them there's a bunch of snow coming.
I have Apple Weather.
Yeah.
Bitch.
I have the Weather Channel.
I have Google.
I have
What's up?
AccuWeather.
Yeah.
I know
Be
what's
like-
up.
Be like those people like my grandpa. He watches the Weather Channel like all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like even when it's like 80 and sunny outside, I go over to his house. I'm like, yeah, the Weather Channel's on.
No,
I'm like, do you
I'm
like?
telling you.
Do you like Is it like a holiday for you when there's a snowstorm? Because you're that into weather. You're like, yes, it's happening.
The older you get, I think the more obsessed with weather you become, because I've seen myself aggregately go up in terms of my obsession with the weather. And like days like today, I was having a fucking firestorm. I was like, when's it gonna start? You know, like what are we looking at for a range of snow? Like I don't know. It's fucking something to be excited about.
I check it one time a day when I wake up so I can know what work uniform to put on. Like that's all I care about.
Yeah.
Or if you're going to be going outside and doing something.
Yeah.
Like in the summer, like softball or golf, like, okay, let's see what the weather's looking like. But like my grandma growing up would I had to clear my throat. We had a whole ordeal about that before we recorded
now
that.
Let me clear my throat.
No, but like my grandma would, like, if there was like a storm going on, like she would call us when we were younger. Is it snowing down by you? Is it raining down by you? Well, we're not that far away, so
you're like,
yeah,
10 minutes away.
Yeah.
That reminds me, in my days of working at golf courses, and I know there's only select few out there who probably will understand this, but if you work in a pro shop at a golf course and it's a rainy day and people have tee times, I shit you not, people who live in the same vicinity as you who are able to drive to the golf course that they're playing at, which is your course, will call you and ask if it is raining at the golf course. It's like, Jimbo, you live 10 minutes away. It's fucking raining there. Yeah, it's probably raining here too. It is unbelievable how people think those clouds are like so select that they're only covering half the fucking town.
The thing for me about weather is like now, like in the summer, I love a good thunderstorm. Like I want it to be bad. Like it's the best.
Yeah, open up your windows, fall asleep to it.
When I was a kid, I was the biggest bitch about like
Really?
anytime that like there was a thunderstorm or the sirens would come on, I was legitimately terrified.
Yeah.
Just go right to the basement or lowest level of the house.
Or like I'm sitting there watching like the news, just making it worse for myself.
You're like a dog under the bed.
Anytime there was like a tornado watch, like that was
tornado watch. Tornado is by our house. It's going to kill me.
It was horrible.
That's how it is.
I've had dreams about like being near tornadoes and seeing them. I've never seen one with my own eyes before though.
No,
I think I've seen funnel clouds starting,
Yeah.
but it never really like made a tornado.
I think I'm okay with it. Never seen one.
Yeah, no, I'll throw that in the trophy case.
You're not going to be like a weather chaser and go down to Iowa or Kansas and actually chase tornadoes.
We can leave that to our friend Zach Halverson.
Oh.
He loves doing
Yeah.
I can also just Google what a tornado looks like, and that way I'm not in danger. Meteorology can be solved by the internet. I'm telling you.
I know.
But-
That's why I watch war movies. I
Right.
don't go to war, but I just
Yeah.
watch movies about
Right, right. All right, let's get into our bits of the week, kind of our signature jokes or funny bits. We'll start with you, journalist Jake. What do you got?
I have the let's fucking go bit. So if you get excited about something, in this case, like I think this past week in the Wild had a couple good games. This isn't like a normal. I think this is originated from Cam over here, getting just really hyped up and talking very fast, being very hyped up. I mean, this could go hand in hand with the calm down bit, which we've discussed time and time again on here, or even the tarps off bit too. This could go hand in hand with that as well. You could loop all these bits together into one. But when you're very pumped up about something, in particular, like I said, the Minnesota Wild, you get really fucking pumped up. You fucking just start yelling, "Let's fucking go!" But you don't say it in a slow cadence. You say it in almost to the point where it sounds unrecognizable. Let's fucking go!
Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go! And like
do
you
that all
fucking
the
yell at
time.
the top of your lungs. Yeah, so I think it comes from Cam, but I started doing it when I'm like fucking pumped about something. I'm like, let's fucking go.
I think me living in this house and living with you is doing something to you. Because I'm pretty sure in the 2023 calendar year, 85% of your bits have had to do with me. Every time.
It might be an obsession at this point.
Well, I think back in the spring and summer, there were a lot of bits having to relate with you, Cam, and you weren't living in the house yet. It's just being around you in general. But then I think there have been some bits that you have come up with in relation to me as well. So it's just there's more bits now that me and Cam are around each other. There's just more bits that are originating, which we need more bits. So
yeah, no,
it's not an issue.
Yeah, there's a bit in every fucking episode. There's between 3 and 4 bits every episode. So yeah,
we need to keep coming out with bits. But let's fucking go.
It's a good bit though. Usually when you have a bit about me, it's like kind of shitting on me.
That's also Tom Brady's bit too.
Yeah,
Well,
it's a great bit.
Let's frickin' go is a Kirk Cousins bit, but no, it's a good bit. I encourage everybody else to start partaking in it. It actually feels good, like when you if you're trying to find a way to find that release, if you're feeling good about something, or a sports team is winning, you want to find a new way to like release that tension or that emotion. Just yell, "Let's frickin' go!" Like really fucking. Let's fucking go.
When did like "Let's go" become a thing? Because it hasn't always been like that. I don't know when people started saying like "Let's go," like "Let's fucking go." Like you never really see clips from the 90s or 2000s of athletes saying that. I think collectively as a human race, we just kind of started doing it, and it
Last 5-6 years.
yeah, it was pretty recent.
I have a routine. I just like realized this about myself. So anytime like something I'm like super happy about happens, I'll do the let's fucking go, and then I'll yell really loud, and then I'll immediately go to Twitter and just tweet something in all caps.
Yeah.
That's literally what I do.
Yeah, I'm so fucking pumped right now.
Which
Let's
actually
fucking go.
transitions great into my bit, because my bit this week is the good feeling bit. It just happened last Sunday. I had $10 on Ricky Stenhouse to win the Daytona, turn it into $330, which was fucking great. And I did that. I did let's fucking go, and Jake's like, you're losing your mind.
I was
I went
standing right
nuts.
there. I was like staring at him with like, crazy eyes. Like,
Oh,
what
I
the
went
fuck?
nuts.
You're sitting there like, woo, let's fucking go. I'm so fucking pumped right now.
I was hyped.
And then you go to your phone and you're like, I don't know who you're
I typed
texting.
something in all caps.
I don't know if you're tweeting or texting people or texting your bookie. You're not killing me this week. I don't know. I had no idea what was going on, but you're freaking the fuck out, and it was freaking me out.
Alleged bookie. But
Alleged bookie.
Yeah.
But no, it's like the good feeling bit's actually a scary feeling. Like I can see how people have gambling problems because it's like the greatest feeling ever.
Oh
Rush
yeah,
of
yeah,
dopamine?
yeah. Being on a high and gambling is the worst thing you could do.
I probably
because-
have a gambling problem.
because then the low is even lower the next time.
Yeah.
like the higher the peaks, the lower the valleys.
yeah,
Now
that's
you're
inspirational, really.
Before you know it, you're gonna turn into like what's the movie Uncut Gems
Yeah,
or Keanu Reeves in Hardball. Like he
God.
fucking has a huge gambling problem in that movie. You're gonna turn into that where you're gonna have people running after you and
Cam.
trying to kill you.
Let's not do that.
I feel like you rarely break even. I think in Vegas when we all go in a couple weeks, you're either gonna win a lot of money or you're gonna lose a lot of money.
Dude,
I feel like you never have an in between. Like,
it makes no
like
sense.
you're either on heaters or you're on cold streaks. There's
It's-
never. We're like, I have a lot of days where they even out, and I'm like, okay, like I won
Yeah.
$11, yip-de-dee, or oh, I lost 10. But some of the fucking swings you've had.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And the last couple weeks, absolute heater. And I needed to just keep on for like another 3 weeks, and then we'll be winning money. in Vegas, but-
It's hard to sustain those.
no, it's crazy.
I was
don't
on
know
a
what's
heater for
happening.
like all of last year, but now I'm.
And
kinda
it's
just-
not even like normally when I get on a heater, like I hit like normal bets, and I hit like a lot of them. Like I barely ever lose. This heater is different. Like I'm hitting bets that are plus 3,300.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know what's happening.
Yeah.
Well, you just better hope like it. Well, what happens if you start losing bets 2 weeks from now, a week before Vegas, and you go on a cold streak like a week into Vegas?
Cancel the trip.
You're gonna have to cancel the trip.
No, you just keep betting until you get out. of it.
Okay. So you better hope that it goes back up in Vegas.
Keep digging until you find a well.
Yeah, until I hit rock bottom.
there's-
until I can no longer pay rent and
You have
you guys
the-
evict me.
Until
Yeah,
you hit bedrock like in Minecraft.
You got to account for the Vegas inflation bit. That's everything is more.
Yeah.
The
well,
currency exchange rate is different.
our fucking Segway game is strong as fuck tonight
Oh.
because I have the. Speaking of vacation, I just got back from one. I was in Arizona visiting my buddy from work, played some golf, and throat clear. My my bit is the kicked off the golf course bit. Now I didn't want to tell you guys because when you get home and you see your roommates and
You have to tell them.
you have to tell them about everything. Well, I wanted to keep this story for the podcast.
Okay.
I didn't get kicked off the golf course, but here's the story. So I was playing down, I think it was Mountain Brook in Phoenix area, if anyone knows where that is. And we got paired with two random guys because, like, if you play as a twosome down there, the courses are so busy, especially this time of year, that you're going to get paired with two other people to, maximize the tee sheet, golf terms, whatever. So we got paired with two guys. One guy was from Western North Dakota who actually knew a person that I went to UND with, so small world. The second guy, I don't know what his last name was, but he was a retired CFL player. So he played college football at a smaller university in Texas, then dabbled with the CFL, and then he may have played with the USFL at some point or something.
Oh, damn.
He was out of it for a little bit, but he had some really bad injuries, and just essentially started rehabbing in Arizona and decided, fuck it, I'm going to retire and stay here because apparently, like, people with hip replacements and stuff just feel a lot better in nicer weather like that. So I totally get it. Anyways, this guy's really cool. Like, he's telling us some stories from his CFL days. We're kind of asking him questions about his rehab and everything. Like, best type of group that you can get randomly paired with in terms of randoms or people you actually enjoy or people who are interesting. So we're on the third hole, right? Short par 3, and there's a cart to the back left of the green. Looks like a ranger because there's no clubs on it. And for those who don't know what a ranger is, he's kind of the employee of the course who drives around, make sure people are behaving, make sure people are playing to the right pace. Kind of the policeman of the course or policewoman, whatever. And he was just kind of sitting like back left of the green, not really a distraction to me. You know, I hit a pretty good shot, and we all kind of hit, and we're driving up there, and we noticed this guy who played in the CFL and the guy from Western North Dakota, like just talking to the Ranger, and I was assuming, you know, they're just saying, oh yeah, beautiful day, blah blah blah, and the Ranger did kind of throw me off a little bit because he was wearing like all black. He was basically dressed in ice armor in the middle of a day in Arizona, like 60-some degrees.
It's like the Undertaker.
Yeah. Dude was probably like 65, 70 years old. So I'm like, maybe his skin is so thin that 65 or 70 is freezing for him. Who knows, whatever. And like, they're just kind of yucking it up. And I'm like, oh, there must, you know, be talking. And like, I walk over to my putt. And then the CFL player yells, hey guys, look, I'm being kicked off the fucking course right now.
What?
And I'm like, I mean, we're just like thrown back. Like, we laugh at first. We're like, oh, really? He's like, nope. And you can hear the Rangers say, well, I don't appreciate your type of language, blah, blah, blah. And the guy is taking his cart off. This is hole 3, by the way.
Oh,
this is a
really?
this is a $120 green fee on a weekend on a beautiful Saturday in Arizona in the middle of winter, like prime time conditions. And this guy's being kicked off the course on hole 3. So I hear him say to the Ranger, like, well, no, you're going to bring me back to my fucking car because we're out in the middle of the golf course and I'm not going to walk back. So you get to deal with me the whole ride back, buddy. Sits in the Ranger's cart, and starts talking to him, and they drive off. And, you know, I'm thinking to myself, like, God, he's probably going to let him have it that entire ride. So the guy from Western North Dakota, I know this is a long story. We're getting near the end. Comes back to the green, and like me and my buddy are like, what the fuck just happened? Like, I thought it was just some friendly talk. So apparently the CFL guy said to the Ranger, hey, you know, if you park there, like just kind of joking, right? Like that glare on your cart windshield kind of threw me off. Like the guy hit a bad shot, so he was making a friendly excuse, like someone would in golf. Like, oh, it's because my buddy talked in my backswing. That's why I sliced it 80 yards right. You know, it's a joke.
Yeah.
And then the Ranger called him, he said some sort of smart comment back. And then this guy just straight up says to the Ranger, well, Jesus, you're acting like a dickhead. And the Ranger goes, you're done for the day. Take your clubs off your cart.
What?
Yeah.
That was it?
That was it.
Oh, jeez.
That's all it took for this feeble little Ranger wearing an entire bodysuit on a 70-degree day in Arizona to kick this man off the golf course because he said he was acting like a dickhead because the Ranger was acting like a dickhead.
Yeah.
Like this guy just made a friendly comment to him, joking around like, oh, you were parked there. That's why I sucked, you know, making a joke. And then I don't know what the guy said specifically to the CFL player, but it apparently was like kind of mean. And he's like, wow, you're being a dickhead. And then he was like, yep, you're done for the day. And then the Ranger was like about to drive off. And he's like, no, asshole, you're driving me back to the clubhouse because we're a few mile walk back to the clubhouse. You know, we had played a par 5, a par 4, a par 3 going the opposite direction of the clubhouse.
Yeah.
Dude, this happened on hole 3, and it was like hole 16. We all, like, the other two of us, because now there's only 3 of us, would just like stop mid putt and be like, what the fuck happened? I've never seen someone get kicked off a course. I've seen people that probably deserve to get kicked off a course who don't. But I don't know. Yeah, my mind was blown. It was the most weird experience I've ever seen.
How did you save that story for this? I would have told you guys right away.
I know. I wanted to so bad, but I'm like, I need to get their raw reaction on the podcast. So I'm gonna try to start doing that now. If I have good stories that you don't know about, I'm gonna try to start saving them for
I wonder if he got his money back.
So apparently he did. So my buddy went in after the round because this CFL guy was super nice, super down to earth dude from Texas, and just asked like the pro shop. He's like, hey, you know, I don't know if you're aware that this happened, but the Ranger was in the wrong. And they go, oh yeah, the Ranger no longer works here. Motherfucker got fired for it. And this former CFL player apparently golfs out there like almost 10 times a month. Like the dude is basically a member out there.
Big part of their income.
Right.
Huge part of their income, paying $120 per round. Are you kidding me? Like maybe a little less on the weekdays, maybe a little less during the summer, but it's like, yeah, like I'm sorry if you disrupt a paying cut, because I'm guessing he walked in the clubhouse and let him have it. Like, oh, I'm done after 3 holes because your Ranger was being a dickhead.
Yeah. Well, because I called him a dickhead because he made a smart comment.
Because he was being a dick.
Yeah.
That was the way we worded it. We're like, he was being a dick.
Yeah.
So
he's just on a power trip.
Yeah. So
sometimes those Rangers, man.
I don't know if the guy got fired actually, but they did say like he's no longer working. So they probably were like, buddy, take the day off and maybe come back if you don't ever do that again.
Yeah.
Or they fired him. I don't know. But
That's crazy.
What a power trip, bro.
I've been playing golf since I was 5 years old. Like I said, I've seen plenty of people who deserve to get kicked off the course who don't. I've never actually seen it happen, and I didn't think it happened this easy. So
That's insane.
I
the
can't
kicked off
believe-
the golf course bet.
I'd be so pissed.
I can't believe I'd be irate because that would be one of those things where it's just like getting kicked out of a bar when you're like, why the fuck am I being
Right.
kicked out? I'm not
When I
that
get-
drunk. That'd be that same situation. Like, why are you kicking me out?
Yeah.
Like, it's a power trip.
Yep.
I'm a ranger on a golf course.
Rangers and bouncers are in the same vein. It feels like
Well,
sometimes.
I don't golf as much as you guys, or I haven't. I'm going to now because
You're a golf guy.
Committed to the
Yep.
hashtag golf guy bit.
Yep.
But like I've seen some Rangers where I'm like, this dude's kind of a dick. And
Yeah.
He definitely like uses his power, but I never have seen someone like that I thought would go to that extent.
Yeah, they seem to be one or the other. The Rangers are either just really
Yeah.
nice, they'll talk to you about your round, whatever, or they're complete
Sit there and
dicks.
stare at you.
More often than not, it's like a retired guy who
Mm-hmm.
just wants the free golf and the benefits, and it makes a lot of sense. But some of them, man, are just so goddamn ornery and crabby
Like,
that they just need to hang it up.
There's no chance you get paid enough to kick that guy off the
No.
course. For
No,
Like that I have a paying customer.
any paying customer at that golf course, let alone a regular one.
that. Yeah, it's 100. What did you say?
Unbelievable.
150.
It was $120 to play there
Yeah.
on a Saturday, and then while
Yeah.
you're out there, you're buying
You're buying
drinks.
drinks,
Sometimes
yeah.
you're buying food. Like, there's no chance
a
he
lot
was
of
only
revenue.
buying golf. So
That's insane.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, we haven't ever witnessed anyone get kicked off, but we do know Josie. He got kicked off of what I forgot what course it was.
It's up north. It's,
He
Log-
said he got
yeah.
kicked
Loggers,
off.
yeah.
He got kicked out, and we weren't there, but we just heard about it. We're like, what? How did that happen? Yeah. I had a few drinks, and was yelling at
Dude,
the ranger.
there's probably been times where I've deserved to get kicked off of golf. Probably like my time in college when I would just drink 40 beers and bring Fireball and just
I've been fucked up on a
blasting music, yelling, taking divots that I'm probably not replacing. Like, I've been there, but I've never seen someone who actually deserves, or I've never seen someone who didn't deserve to get kicked off a golf course.
I deserve to be kicked off a golf course every time I play just because of how bad I am. Just a
Yeah.
disgrace to be there.
Yeah, so it's
But-
man, dude, I'm still in shock. I
insane. I
never
can't
really
believe that
figured out
happened.
how to process what happened.
I'd be fucking pissed.
yeah. So
Especially if it was like one of us that traveled there and like paid for a round and you kicked me off over some little comment like that, I'd be like, bro, like
yeah. And I mean, I'm not the kind of person who like would call someone a dickhead like that. I think that obviously didn't help. He's not in the wrong for doing it. He probably shouldn't have said it. Probably just should have minded his own business and walked away. But still, it's not enough of a comment that deserves getting kicked out of a place that you pay $100 to be at.
Yeah, seriously.
$120.
Gosh,
Really quick before we bring on Anderson Daniels here, I have one more bit, the undefeated bit. So thanks to a three-way trade between the Toronto Maple Leafs, the St. Louis Blues, and our Minnesota Wild, famous Stanley Cup winning captain and first-line center Ryan O'Reilly was a Minnesota Wild for about 30 seconds on Saturday, which means he never lost a game with a Wild jersey. So
only player to do that. I mean, is he the only player in sports history to be undefeated with a given team?
I would think the only ones are those folks who are involved in three-way trades.
The only one that I can think of recently is Isaiah Kiner-Falefa with the Twins, because we traded for him and then we traded him away.
Oh, you're right.
To the Yankees and the Donaldson.
That actually has happened a couple
Or no,
times.
we got him in the Donaldson trade and then traded
So
him.
technically, there's a few out
Or
there.
something, I don't
There's
know.
a few anomalies, though, actually,
Yeah,
with the
or-
Ryan
yeah.
O'Reilly bit.
Or guys or gals like whatever who will play somewhere for one day and then they'll be like, actually, I'm going to retire. Something like that.
Or the one-day retire. Oh, yeah, the one-day contract. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that doesn't really count, though, because usually that's a team that they
It
played for
in the
originally.
past.
So.
Yeah.
But, so I made the graphic that said, undefeated. Ryan O'Reilly never lost as a Minnesota Wild. And we got some very funny comments that I wanted to share on it. Facebook, someone said, I think we should retire 90 as the best center we ever had next to Koivu. I absolutely agree with that comment. We should definitely hang it up in the rafters. Maybe take down the number one. I don't know.
Yeah.
Russo responded to that because someone said it on Twitter too. He's like, no, that goes to Johansson. Remember him? Like Marcus Johansson or something?
Oh, yeah,
like that?
Marcus Johansson.
He
Yeah.
said that goes to him because he was number 90. He's the best
Yeah.
center we've ever
Yeah.
had.
Okay.
Which I thought was
So
hilarious.
maybe we'll throw up a 90 that they can split.
Yeah. Can you imagine that?
Instagram, someone said, I thought the player we got was this legendary person named Retained Salary. Retained Salary is such a beast that he played for many teams at once and is in high demand. So, yeah, Retained Salary is also someone who's pretty popular across all sports.
That's great.
Yeah.
And
25%.
the best one was Twitter. This Photoshop physically hurts me. The most toxic place, obviously, which is Twitter. And you know what? The Photoshop, it wasn't even Photoshop.
No, fuck them.
It was Canva. We did the best job we could, okay?
So they don't even know what they're looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously you don't know what you're talking about, but
It's like, hey, if you hate seeing it, buy Photoshop for me and buy a class, and I'll do it.
yeah, seriously.
I'll do
just
it for the
scroll
fans. Yeah.
by. You're obviously commenting on it, so you're
Just
thanks
a man
for the
of the people.
engagement.
But
yeah.
I think we need to. I think anytime we're involved in three-way trades like that, we need to just start pumping out some just stupid facts like that. Because I remember actually, and Russo inspired it in The Athletic. He was like, Ryan O'Reilly had a miraculous career with the Minnesota Wild that lasted about 30 seconds, and I'm like, idea in my head. We're gonna pop that on a graphic.
Yeah, dude. I think it'd be so funny if we legitimately the Wild retire his number.
Yep.
And just have a whole pregame spiel dedicated to Ryan O'Reilly's retirement. That'd be insane.
He would just be like, "What the fuck?"
The second number retired in Wild history, beside Mikko Koivu.
Yep.
Before like a Marian Gaborik or anything like that, we retire Ryan O'Reilly's
Marian
number.
Gaborik would be so pissed. Future Kaprizov.
Yeah, right. Oh, Ryan O'Reilly.
Yep. We retire Ryan.
I wonder if we were gonna try to actually get Ryan O'Reilly, like in like all seriousness.
There
don't
had
think
to.
that was the.
It probably never was, but
No.
you had to think there was a time during that 30 seconds where Bill's like, "Should I just not give him to the
Yeah.
Leafs?"
Sir, we can't afford him. I don't know. Give him away. You got to give him away. Ah, shit. It's like
That guy played pretty well against the Wild last
I
year.
have him now, and I kind of want to keep him.
it's like keeping the ring in Lord of the Rings and not destroying it, and like destroy it. No.
Or it's like if you buy a birthday present for someone in your family
You're
and
sitting there.
you buy it and you're like, I might not give this to them. I might just keep this.
I
done
might keep
that.
it for myself.
You have done it?
I didn't keep it, but I went and bought myself one as well.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
forgot
yeah.
what it was, but I've definitely done that.
Bill he might have thought for a minute, but he's gonna go and try to get his own Ryan O'Reilly, another version of it, I guess.
Or
before the
maybe
deadline.
we trade the Maple Leafs someone else and we get O'Reilly back.
Yeah.
And we end up saving a lot more than we would have spent.
we end up
Now you're thinking.
we end up trading retained salary.
Yeah,
for something.
That guy's really good.
A 25% retained salary. He's always undefeated, actually, retained salary. So we'll get. I've heard speculation that Tyler Bertuzzi will get. We'll figure something out there.
There's also a mounting, which actually we'll get into this in the buy or sell, but there's a mounting interest in Patrick Kane, which has Wild fans divided. But you'll hear that in the third segment. So let's take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with Anderson Daniels. All right, folks, welcome back to It's a Bit. We're joined with a very special guest, someone I've known for a very long time. We have Anderson Daniels, country music singer from our very own state of Minnesota, who also splits time with Nashville. But Anderson Daniels, great to have you on the show.
Thank y'all for having me. I appreciate you for having me be here.
Yeah, and you are, I think, the first country singer on. We've had Sammy Adams,
say.
the rapper, on. I think you're the first one in countries, so trailblazer.
Breaking the mold, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. But so you said you're splitting time in Nashville, right? So you spend some time up in Minnesota, some time in Nashville?
Yeah, a lot of back and forth, just the communities here, and we still tour out of the Midwest and Minnesota all the time. But here, doing the songwriter, recording, taking meetings, all that type of stuff, in town here. And then, we're touring out of the Midwest still. So it's been a lot of back and forth, but it's fun.
Well, this could be a controversial to a lot of people, but a lot of people probably want to know what's better, Nashville or Minnesota.
Depends on what you're doing. I can't get away from Minnesota with, I'm hunting, fishing, all that. So getting out in the outdoors in Minnesota is second to none. But if you're looking for a good time, this is definitely the place to be.
Yeah. And too, like, I'm guessing kind of the networking as a country artist is crazy down there because that's literally the home of country music. So
yeah, everyone you meet, especially if you're a writer, this is the place to be. So just shaking hands and meeting new people and writing with new people all the time. So it's kind of where everything's at.
yeah, so like how and when did you get started? I remember my parents like a year ago saying they saw you live and they're like, he's actually really good. And I'm like, really? I didn't even know he was doing country music. That's crazy. But yeah, when did you get started?
Well, so my brother moved down here, like 2012, I think. And so like I was kind of always singing as a kid and kind of learned some guitar from him and stuff like that. But it wasn't until he moved here that I started, writing a lot more and whatnot. And then kind of in college, I had a lot more free time on your hands when you're not in class and stuff like that. And so I was just in my dorm room picking up the guitar and singing and playing, and knew I always wanted to do live shows and whatnot. So I started hitting the open mics around St. Cloud State, and kind of getting my feet wet with playing in front of a crowd, and then just kind of went from there. So it was really I always say like 2017 is when I started recording my first record. So that's kind of when I say I got my start as an artist, and kind of went from there.
That's awesome. Well, how difficult is it to probably get into the country music scene in Minnesota versus like if you were just living in the South or maybe even living right in Nashville? Is that difficult in Minnesota, or is there like a decent following for that to get into?
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of great artists in Minnesota and the Midwest, and now there's the Midwest Country Music Organization, which is a place for a bunch of artists from the Midwest that can join. It's it's a an organization that helps connect people and writers, venues, artists, all that type of stuff, businesses even, and so that's definitely been a big help in kind of like helping the scene up in Minnesota. But Nashville is just a different story, and everybody moves here to write and play and try and make it, and there's a lot that kind of goes into that. But as far as like me in Minnesota, it's been I always knew that I wanted to get my start somewhere before I ever uprooted to Nashville. So Minneapolis and kind of the surrounding areas. Then we started playing shows all around Minnesota, and then that branched out into Wisconsin, down to Chicago and Iowa and Omaha, Nebraska. So it's just kind of grown from there for me. And then this is a good place here to kind of base everything on the artist side out of when it comes to writing, recording, and kind of my management companies here. So it's all kind of working on both ends.
Yeah, so you mentioned all the different places you've been to and you've played at. What would you say is your favorite so far?
Let's see. We've gotten to do a couple cool things out in California. Like a lot of like vineyard stuff out there. So it's like cool to see. That was
Really?
just something like in the Midwest, like we got none of that. So it's like cool to
No.
go see, that process and learn about wine and stuff like that. I'm a beer drinker. So like
You're
the
like, "This
first
is
time
strange."
they interviewed me, they're like, "What's your favorite kind of wine?" And I'm like,
I play country music.
The shit that
I
comes
was
in a
like,
box?
Yeah.
I was like, red. I don't know. Like,
Bush Light.
yeah, that's what they said. I should have said was just Bush Light, but
No,
I was like,
that'll
well,
piss
yeah.
people off.
know,
Yeah. So
That's kind of goofy to think that like like when I think of vineyards, I think of people with violins and violas and
Right.
cellos, and they just brought like
And-
country singers. But
Or playing
that's
Mozart.
cool. Yeah.
them people will drink out there for sure though. So that's if you got drinking, country music goes right with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't matter if it's wine or beer. It's all alcohol. It's doing the same thing. I would think so.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
I like to have a good time.
Yeah. Who have been then some of the bigger artists or biggest maybe the biggest artists you've worked with or collaborated with or played with or opened for in your time?
Yeah, we did some stuff with like Blake Shelton last year at Twin City Summer Jam. So he's up there. We got to do Fire Fest with like Midland and Lauren Elena. I got to tour a little bit with Ronnie Millsap on his farewell tour, and kind of those artists. I mean, it's always an honor to just like share the stage with a lot of these people and just kind of, obviously you're not in the same category, but you're on the same stage. So it means something that you're there. And that's always a big, like, I take, I'm humbled to be on there on those shows and those stages. So we just kind of take it as tell the band before we go out, like, let's go do our thing and, hang with these guys really.
Yeah, I remember seeing when you got the spot in Twin City Summer Jam. I'm like, that's sweet because not only did I know a lot of people going there, but I knew a lot of the country artists playing. So are those kind of the opportunities that just people come up, approach you or your management company and they're like, we want to bring on, especially I think it helps that you're probably local, but did they reach out to you and they're like, we want you to open for on Thursday?
Yeah, a lot of like I feel as if over the last few years I've been working really hard at putting together a really good live show. And so we'll get people to come out to, a different show and they'll see what we have to offer, and then they kind of see, okay, this guy can hang, we can put him in this slot and he'll get the job done for what we're looking for. So and then even exceed expectations is my goal. And I think that happens, a good amount of the time. So I'm proud of the show that we put together, and I'm proud of the way the band plays and how tight our set is. And yeah, they'll reach out, and, those opportunities are, ones that we want to capitalize on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I know, because I always see big names come to the Twin Cities Summer Jam, but wasn't it the last year they were doing it?
Yeah, it was the
what I heard?
last year they're doing it, because they're opening an amphitheater there, and I think they're kind of under construction at Canterbury for all of that right now. So
Oh, sick. Well, are they gonna like probably bring it back then when they open the amphitheater, or are they gonna bring in another tour? Or
I don't know what the situation is with that. I think it's more of like we're just gonna get some artists to play at the amphitheater and stuff like that. I don't think
Okay.
the festivals come back. Insider thing here, I heard they're working on like another festival in a different location. So
Okay.
hopefully that kind of kicks up, I think this year or next year or something like that. So I'm sure they'll announce it all soon. But
They'll
Yeah.
probably just
that's as much as I can say.
yeah,
Yeah,
they'll probably just
okay.
rebrand it.
Yeah,
They'll just call it something else, but
Twin
like it'll
Cities,
still
yeah.
be there. It'll
Minnesota
still be
Country Jam.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I just heard that. I'm like, oh, that's too bad. Well, I know that in that same property though, I think that same weekend where they hosted, because I think where they host that is literally, people think it's like inside Canterbury, and but it's literally just on like the grounds outside of it, right? That's where they've hosted
Yep,
it.
yeah, it's right in the middle of the racetrack.
Yeah. Oh, so it's right in the middle of, like, it's inside the racetrack. That's where they host it.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
shit.
put the stage up there.
Oh, wow.
And kind of have all the vendors fill in there, and then yeah, we literally drove right on the racetrack to get all our gear backstage and everything like that. So it was pretty cool.
That's sweet.
That's fucking sweet.
Are those like at some of the places you play? Are those backstage parties kind of fun? Because we knew a guy who from Bigwood Brewing in White Bear Lake who had gone on tour and played in like various music festivals, and he said it's just guys just drinking beer behind stage and people just kind of
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it all depends on like what artist you're with, and I think what a lot of people don't realize too is it kind of sometimes depends on what night it is. Like if it's the first night of a 3-night run or something like that, people are typically more lively, backstage. And come Saturday after, playing a couple nights, I've been there before where it's just like, oh man, I just can't do it. Can't do it 3 straight nights like that. I mean, some people can, some people can't, but you get, it's a tiring process when you're traveling on the road, and then, you got sound check you got to make, and then you perform and you do the set, and that takes so much energy. And then it's kind of after that, it's either it either hypes you up even more to be like, all right, what are we doing now? Or it's like, all right, that's everything I got. Time to rest up. But
yeah, that's always kind of wondered about like going on tour, is the balance between partying and actually performing, because especially when you're doing like back to back, I don't know how people like well older than all of us do that shit.
yeah.
Like some of these bands are still on tour. It's like I know they're for a fact that they're not sober every one of these nights.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then when they come out, I'm sober now.
Yeah, you're like,
wow.
Yeah.
Tell me the trick. Tell me
Yeah.
the secret.
right.
Goodness. I feel like I go on tour just working a full-time job every day. Like, shit. Like, and I'm staying put. It just feels like that can be that strenuous.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine
Right.
being on tour. Well, I mean, that brings me to a question. Like, as someone, you've been on tour before, you've been on tour, right? Like, where you're playing probably day after day, or at least every other day, and probably
A lot of travel. Yeah.
a lot of travel. I mean, how do you deal with that? Like, how does a musician deal with that every day? Because I try to think of like, to the people, it's a new show, it's fresh because you're going to a different location, but you're doing the same thing maybe every night. Maybe you're improvising, throwing maybe a couple different songs in the set or whatever. But like, how do you keep it fresh? How do you cope with the stresses of a tour?
A lot of caffeine. Just hitting that on the road. No, but I think a lot of the times, like, you got to remind yourself that no matter what you're feeling that day, there's people that are showing up to, come see you play. There's people that are showing up that paid money to get a babysitter or an Uber to the show, and paid money for the ticket to come see you play. So it's like, I know what it's like to be a country music fan and be in the audience, and I want the best experience possible. And so that's, as an artist, when I'm on stage, that's what I'm trying to bring people every night. So it's like every ounce of energy, I'm going to put it on stage during that 30 to 90 minutes that we're out there, kind of depending on what the show is. But that's I'm going to bring it every night because I know those people are there to see a good show. So it's like keeping that mentality night in and night out, especially when you're traveling to new cities and stuff like that. And it's such a privilege to be able to do it because I get to see a lot of parts of the country that I've never would have even thought to go to. So it's pretty cool that way.
Yeah, you got to be a fan before you can be a performer. Then you know exactly what you got to deliver.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You know your audience. I mean, you guys know, you know the people that are listening to you, what kind of audience you have, and you want to give them the best show possible.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of the same mentality.
Yeah. Well, kind of going back to some of your stuff in the studio, are there any songs you wrote where you were surprised how well they did in terms of listenership, or kind of vice versa, where you're like, God, I thought that was a banger and just no one listened to it?
Or the opposite, like,
because
sucks.
we know how that goes with just putting out content. Is like sometimes you put all your effort into one thing and you're like, man, no one else liked that. Whereas sometimes you just do the littlest thing and people just love it.
Oh, for sure. Especially nowadays, sometimes the music business feels like the content business, and it's tough, especially, a lot of artists and stuff like that now are really relying on like TikTok and Reels and stuff like that to get their stuff heard, which is a great source for us to get it heard. But you might pour 30 minutes to an hour and a half into one video and then it doesn't go anywhere. But like for me, sonically wise, releasing music, I put out the Heartland EP, was my first ever record that I released, and it was awesome. I mean, we got inside the top 20 on the iTunes country charts, and that was my first time ever releasing anything. So I was super proud of that, and it gave me a kind of a launching pad to a music career. And then it was, I think 2 years after was when I released my next single after that project, and it was Town Like This, and that's been my biggest song since. So it's like that song, when that came out, it was like, oh, we got a lot more ears listening to me than I thought we did. So that was a great feeling to kind of be surprised by that. And then ever since then, it's like I'm trying to get those the next song that's going to do that. So it's every time I put something out, it's like, all right, how do we get those ears listening to this the way they did that? So it's kind of a balance, because you don't want to do the same thing over and over, but yeah, it's definitely a cool feeling when you're like, oh, okay, this is reaching a lot more people than I thought.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Well, when you're recording music, I know it's obviously way different from like playing it live, but like, do you ever have to like listen to it over and over again to like make sure something sounds right or anything like that, and you're just like get annoyed by how you sound? You're like, I need to take a break. Like, this is getting
all the time, especially when you're in the studio and you're listening to like, okay, should we say like this or that instead of a certain word, like it's the smallest stuff, but you're like, is this gonna hit the listener right if this part isn't here or something like that, or this one word isn't here? Did I hit that note too sharp? Do we have to go over and do that again? Like, it's a weird feeling, but then you listen to it too many times and you're like, okay, we got to get some fresh ears on this thing, so we'll send it to somebody or take a break and go grab a bite to eat or get a beer or something like that, and then come back to it.
Yeah, I mean, we've experienced it on a very minor level. We've written a few parody songs, "Thick Boy Summer," "We Wish You a Merry Kirkmas," but there were even like
bangers.
Yeah,
that's
bangers.
But
hits.
we got the smallest sample of like studio life, and by the end of that 3 or 4 hours that it took us to record a 2-minute parody song, like we all wanted to kill each other. So like I'll never understand it to the level that you and a lot of other artists see it at, but like I've gotten a taste of it, and I kind of know the pain of keeping tempo, or you listen back to something, you're like, God, that sounded like shit, or
I was off here,
or you got to start changing lyrics around because you're like, man, on paper that sounded like it would have made a lot of sense, and then now I don't know how to fit it in with the melody, like
or you can get the final version back. You're like, nope, this is it, and you're sitting there overthinking like your part or your aspect of it, but it's
and
little
then
things like that.
People in your industry do that for an entire album, and then then like a few months later you might write another album. So I don't know how you you guys do that, because we do about one song a year, and that's all we're good for.
We'll go on tour.
That's enough.
Yeah. If you never need someone to open for you,
just us singing our two songs.
We'll have to get a show together. We'll have to do something in
Minnesota. You can add a verse to our next one that we come up with.
Perfect.
I don't know what
That'll
it'll
be perfect. Yeah,
we can do that. But kind of another question about playing live. I guess what's the most challenging part of doing it? Like, obviously, you only get one run at playing the song, so if something goes a little wrong, you have to improvise. But are there any things that the regular listeners wouldn't see that is actually really difficult?
Sometimes, I mean, a lot of it has to do with like batteries go out or something like that, or break a string or something. But as long as you got somebody, some crew guys or something like that that are there, and I'm able to play it off pretty good, like not make it a big deal. But that can ruin a show sometimes if you're like, you just kind of a mishap happens, and you kind of like, okay, we might be screwed here for this next part that's coming up where I'm going to need this guitar or something like that. So that's the toughest part, is just like, you can only control what you can control. So, batteries go out or something like that. It's like, I should have changed those before the set. Like it's something so easy, but I mean, forgetting words and stuff like that. I mean, if you don't make it a big deal, the moment goes by so quick that just shake it off and get right back to it. It's not too bad.
Yeah. And I don't think no one even notices it. Like, you could like fixate on something you're like, oh fuck, I missed that note or something. It's like, no one's gonna notice that in the crowd.
Yeah, you just
like
keep it going and don't act like it's a big deal. People aren't gonna treat it like a big deal.
No.
I was laughing because you guys know I played in a band a few years ago. With a couple friends, and we just played at like some small venues around Minneapolis and stuff. But we played at one show in like this place in Hopkins, and my singer just stopped halfway through the song because the song stops. Like, the drums and bass stop, and he's supposed to keep playing, and he literally stopped, looked at us. What are you guys doing? We're like, you're supposed to keep playing, and we're having this conversation on stage as like people are playing, but people thought it was hilarious, and I'm sitting there like, oh fuck. But like, that was a big fuck up, and people still didn't care. They thought it was funny. Like, so, but no, I can't. But on the stage you're at, though, with more people, I feel like it could be even more daunting. But like, I just feel like it's one of those things where just keep playing through it. No one noticed it. Fuck it. Just keep going.
Keep it moving. That's what I always said. Just mess up a little bit, keep it moving.
Yep.
They'll forget about it.
Yeah. Who would you say in the world of country music kind of inspired you, or artists that you look up to?
Yeah, I'd say like right now, Cody Johnson's a big guy for me, just because he kind of built everything outside of Nashville. He was on the road touring out of Texas for like 15 years before he got a deal, and he kind of put himself in a position where, he didn't need a record deal. He found the right one that was good enough for him. He was already selling out, a ton of venues and arenas and big stages, and he wanted to go to radio, so he found a deal that could get him there. And to kind of build something up, build up an audience outside of town here, and then you have something concrete that, like, a label can just throw gasoline on a fire that's already lit. That's been a big inspiration for me, and kind of like how I modeled what I've been trying to do. And a lot of people think he's a new artist because he's just coming on radio now, or was up for a couple of the New Artist of the Year awards and stuff like that. But he's been around for 15 years, grinding and playing. So it's that's one guy that's definitely an inspiration, not only music wise and in his music and his songs, but just the way he kind of went about his business and building up his audience is a big inspiration to me.
That's sweet.
Yeah, that's awesome. I want to talk about, going back to your live shows, what would you say is the average music goer, a concert goer? What like, describe them to me?
The demographics.
The demographic of the person who's up in the front of the stage, guy or gal. What does the average person look like at your shows? I'm curious.
Oh man.
Maybe I'm talking about the crazy people like up next to the stage.
We've had plenty of those people, but I don't know. They're literally, if you like thought of a Luke Combs or a Morgan Wallen show or something like that, you're getting all those people out at like every country show. They're wearing a flannel, they've got a bush light in their hand, and probably a beard or something like that, and they just got off work at your local shop or whatever, and they're the people that we make music for. That's what I grew up around, and that's what I want to represent in country music. So when those people come out, it's like I see them in the audience and I know what position they're in, because that's me too. So it's like trying to represent that on stage and through the songs that we're playing is really cool.
The first thing that came in my head was from Talladega Nights when Cal is like, I picture baby Jesus as front row at a Leonard Skinner concert. Now I'm hammered drunk. And I'm hammered drunk.
I got a what did he say? A tuxedo T-shirt on.
Yeah.
I'm just hammered.
Yeah.
Drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
you
drunk.
get those people. We were playing in Omaha the other week, and like I'm looking front row, next to the rail or whatever, and the guy's got a bucket of beer sitting down at his feet. I was like, is that supposed to be for us on stage? Like, did the security like not put that on the right side of the rail or whatever? No, this guy didn't want to like lose his spot at the front to go back and get beers, so he just picked up like a sixer, threw him in a bucket, and sets him up next to him on stage.
Working harder, not smart, or smarter,
Yeah,
not harder.
exactly. Yeah. I'm like, God bless him.
Yeah.
I hope that 6-pack's gone by the time we're done playing.
Yeah,
Maybe after one song. I mean, he's going to get another couple buckets, multiple buckets there.
Well, what would you say is your favorite song you've written so far?
Man, probably Cheyenne. That's a song that I wrote with a buddy, TJ Morrow, who also released and put that song out. And kind of I started playing it at shows like, hey, this is a song, my buddy and I wrote. He cut it. And the more and more I started playing it, the more and more I was like, oh, I really love this song. And everybody else that was listening to it was saying the same thing. So I ended up cutting it and putting it out. But, it's a song that, like, when you hear it, a lot of people are thinking that you're talking about a girl. And really it's about, like, falling in love with a place and not a person, a place that makes you feel kind of at home. And just a cool different spin on it, and the way we recorded it with the steel guitar and everything like that, it sounds super cool, and love the production on it. So that's probably my favorite song that I've been a part of writing and was able to put out as an artist.
That's cool.
That's sweet. Well, you mentioned like used it with like the steel guitar and stuff, and that's a really unique instrument. But what other instruments have you tried to implement in your songs beyond just like the guitar and maybe drums or even like bass? What other unique instruments have you tried to inject?
That's about it.
Really?
Those are about
it. Oh,
it.
shit, I listed them all. Damn it.
Yeah, I was like, he hasn't said bass yet. He hasn't. No.
Oh.
All of those. And then, we've had fiddle on a few songs too, but it's crazy how many different sounds you can get out of a guitar with all the pedals and stuff like that, all the technology they have now. So it's like some of the songs that we have is, there's a cool little lick or something like that you wouldn't even think's a guitar, but it is. And it's super cool to hear when a producer is able to like take your vision of a song and kind of bring it to life. And that's one of my favorite parts about the recording process specifically.
If the opportunity ever presented itself, would you ever dabble into hip hop?
I would maybe do it as like the guy that sings like the chorus or something like that.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't throw a
You'd be the
verse in there or
feature.
Yeah, you
anything like
wouldn't lay down a bar.
Yeah, no, I'd be the feature guy on there.
Backwoods rap.
I'd be the guy like in the music video, just kind of like standing in the background, while they're up there doing the thing, and then the chorus comes and it zooms in on me and I do the chorus. But no, the closest thing I'm gonna do to that, I got a song called "Way Out" that's like the verses are like really fast and I'm kind of talking during them, so it's almost like that,
like a Colt Ford-esque, like kind of rap type.
A little
thing.
bit, yeah. And so like that's the closest thing. And even when we play that song live, I'm just like, don't fumble over these words because they go so quick, and it's like trying to remember all of them. What comes after the next part is tough sometimes.
Don't drink beers until we're done with this song.
Yeah.
Like, no, don't be doing that.
Yeah.
Well,
no, I gotta have a couple before I go on stage just to loosen up and lighten up. I always, want to be right in the pocket of knowing what I'm doing, but also, having a few to enjoy it too. So
absolutely, Jim Leahy.
Jim Leahy said it best.
Yeah.
That's the
exactly.
that's the standard you live by.
Right in the pocket.
Being a country singer.
I want to be the monkey with all the bananas.
Yeah.
I think that's what he says like immediately after.
Well, you gotta be a monkey with all the bananas. Oh goodness.
Yeah.
No, but also I a suggestion. Your songs maybe could use more cowbell.
True. You never know.
You never know. You could inject some more cowbell, play cowbell, or if you
You're
join
the first person to ever tell me that.
Really?
Throw it on the drum kit.
Yeah.
I actually do love when a drummer implements like a cowbell.
Yeah, he has a cowbell. Like, where's that cowbell coming from? Oh, he has it attached to his kit.
Yeah.
It's sick.
It's a perfect setup. I'm gonna have to talk to my guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, just let him know. Float it his way.
Or just flat out like you on stage, I don't know if you have like another guitarist up there with you, but like he can take over for a second and you can just start fucking smashing the cowbell on stage.
Like
be
the Jack
Get that
Harlow
shit going.
Doritos commercial with the triangle. Remember
Yeah.
where they're like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
need to start using the triangle. He's like, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Super Bowl commercial, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like one
Yeah.
of the only ones I actually remember.
That you remind me of that. It
Yeah.
was actually one of the few funny ones.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of funny ones. There was it Ram or somebody, one of those truck commercials with like the long-lasting, like long lasting engine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the funniest one. I thought I was geeking at that
What
one.
was the term they used for that? It was making fun of erectile dysfunction or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here.
Transmittal. No, not transmission. Oh gosh.
It was premature electrification.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what it was. Yes, I do remember that.
That's hilarious.
Premature electrification.
God bless him for doing that one, because that was like one of the only ones that made me laugh all Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Did I see a Budweiser commercial? I feel like I didn't.
It was no Budweiser, no Burger King.
No Budweiser, no I'm not surprised Burger King, because they have to have spent so much fucking money on
Yeah.
the other 9 months of the season, but
Budweiser's always a
Budweiser was
staple.
kind of a big miss, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Did y'all win any of your bets on the props that you guys were
Yeah.
talking about on the other episode?
Yeah, so Cam hit
You hit any of those?
Cam hit the octopus, which is one player who gets a touchdown and then a 2-point conversion, which Jalen Hurts did. So that was the biggest
Wow.
one. Gatorade color, I think, was orange.
It was purple.
It was
It was
purple.
purple.
Skull Vikings.
Yeah, it was purple. I took a bet on red, thinking like,
Yeah.
okay, it's decent odds, and then purple came out of nowhere, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I think Chris Stapleton was a lock for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knew he was going to drag that national anthem.
Rightfully so.
I was talking to my buddy. I thought he was going to go a little bit under.
Really?
I thought he was going to be just under, because I've sang the national anthem before. That's a lot of seconds, man. I don't know, but hey, it hit.
A lot of planned out breathing, I feel like, when you're going to sing something out that long.
There's talent there.
How do I take a breath without ruining this moment?
I
for
would
the
be like,
10
oh,
billion people watching.
oh, say,
Yeah.
oh shit, I took the breath at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, that'll screw you up bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that. You got to. But that's another thing about even in your shoes. You got to find the right cadence subconsciously too, of when to take breaths, so you don't, not splitting up a whole verse.
Right.
Like with just your
Right time.
breath.
You have to find the right times to sip your beer too, because
Yeah.
I've done
Yeah.
that before, where I'm like, oh shit, I gotta not have beer in my mouth right now when I'm saying this, but
Yeah.
yeah, that'll get you. That's all timing.
Yep. Absolute professionalism. Well, the last question I had for you was you played in our 2022 10K Invitational Golf Tournament, and I believe you got cucked out of a hole game because
I did. We won that. We won that tournament.
Yeah, you guys won. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I explained this to you, but Jake read off the awards, and on the hole signs, he thought the name on the top was the one who was the winner.
I thought it was
So
I never done that before.
Yeah,
so
I had it closest to the pin, and I was ready to get up out of my chair.
Just start
and then they
yelling.
read another name, and I'm like,
how much was that for? We owe you
charity
$25. Remember
Well,
that.
fun if
we'll buy your
Buy-
six
buy me a
pack
beer
at the
next
next
time or
one.
something.
Yeah.
There you go.
That'd have been bad if I was the one who initiated some sort of brawl at a charity event.
Yeah.
Like for this golf tournament. Reading
Yeah, I
off
got to
the
come
things
back and
wrong.
defend my belt next year.
You
Or
do,
this year, I
yeah.
guess.
You guys won. It's it's gonna be at a new location this year. We'll say that, and we're pretty sure it's gonna be on a Friday. So get after it a little more.
Okay,
this year.
maybe we'll have to do a show or something like that after.
Yeah.
After
Oh,
the.
That would actually
after the round.
be sweet, because
be sick.
the place we're having it at would definitely allow for that. So
That would be ideal.
we'll be in touch.
Create a whole party.
Sweet.
Let's create a whole music festival on top of it.
Yep.
Let's fucking get Luke Bryan in here.
Yep.
And we're gonna fill
10K
this
country
tournament up.
festival.
Yeah, 10K Country Fest at a golf course.
We're gonna
I'm
open
in.
it up. We're gonna
It
open.
sounds
just-
really good right now.
Yeah.
We'll just put a stage on the first fairway. Fuck it, right?
Oh,
It's for charity. What
sure.
are they gonna say?
We'll bring Sammy Adams out as well. Add
Yeah.
some rap. I mean,
Yeah, why not? A little
If you
variety.
hit the band, it's an extra. You get a bonus or something like that.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of the fairway.
Okay. Yeah. And if you land it between the string, we could put up a guitar and do one of those like stinger challenges where you break the glass, except you got to hit it in the hole of the guitar, like through the strings.
Yep.
You got to hit it that
Ooh.
hard.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're thinking now.
We're
We're
rolling.
spitting ideas right
We're rolling
now.
with ideas. But Jake, did you have any other questions?
Oh yeah, one I had. Is it possible for a mosh pit to occur at a country music concert? Can it happen, or has it happened, or could we make it?
I don't know if it's like a.
That'd be-
Well, I don't know. I went to a Co Wetzel show not too long ago, and I think there might have been one there.
Okay,
So,
love it.
and you never know with some of the new Hardy music that's out now too.
Yeah, he's doing the rock thing. That's right.
Yeah, yeah. You get some of that. I'm sure it's if it hasn't happened yet, it's gonna pop up during those shows. But no, I've never had one at mine. And I think anytime fight breaks out or something like that, I swear country music's like the one genre that like the artists will call them out on stage and stuff like that, and make a big like scene about it and get them out of there and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I feel like people cut that out pretty quick. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it'd just be very, very entertaining if you somehow could create one out in a mosh pit.
I think if you get the
country
crowd
concert.
a good enough drunk and there's hard enough like almost rock,
A
almost
riff?
like what Hardy does, like it could work.
You just need to
maybe.
yell mosh pit, and people.
Yeah, I was
some
gonna
they'll
say
be
maybe
idiots.
if I pushed it on stage.
Yeah, see what kind of
it'd
reaction you get.
be a great look.
You'll have enough drunk people out there to
As
be
long
like,
as the
all right,
venue's got insurance.
yeah,
Yeah.
right, yeah. Mosh pit. I'm sure there's crowd surfing though a lot, right? That's got to happen a lot. Or do they
Yeah.
not allow that?
Well, yeah. I don't know how much even that happens at country concerts. I feel like people are pretty tame, but
Yeah.
They are. They
I don't
just
know.
kind of drink and just vibe.
Yeah.
That's kind of the country crowd. It seems
No.
like.
Well, like Lakefront Festival in Prior Lake, like that was fucking sick too. Like it was Randy Hauser,
Yeah.
and then Alabama came in and filled in for Toby Keith, kind of
Right.
last second, but that was sick
I went to Parker McCollum like 2 weeks ago, and it was literally just
at the Armory.
dudes drinking
Oh,
beer
yeah, at the
and
Armory,
having
yeah.
a good time. Like there was no antics at all.
Yeah.
That's most of the country concerts have been like that.
Right. And versus just some country or not country versus just some rock / metal concerts I go to, I'm just fucked up getting bounced around and have bruises the next day.
See, I don't see the fun in that.
I think it's fucking exhilarating.
You're a psychopath.
I'm not in like the
I
one.
went to
I don't know.
I went to go see I saw Breaking Benjamin and Korn one night,
Oh no.
and then the next night I went to a country show. I'm trying to think of who I went to, but like it was the weirdest thing because the production and like I mean Korn, just massive sound and everything like that, and the production, the lights, everything. And then you go to a country concert the next night and it's a lot more tame. I was like, oh man, this is just a different vibe.
Was that one at the state fair? Country or Corn and Breaking Benjamin, weren't they there?
Oh,
That was at
that different?
I think that was at the XL when
Yeah.
I went to that one.
Breaking Benjamin. We did see Zane and I saw Breaking Benjamin with Alice in Chains
That's
and
who-
Bush.
yeah.
Which was an
Okay.
awesome
That's
show.
what I'm thinking of.
But Breaking Ben, yeah, But no, that's crazy because Korn, you have like their fucking crazy ass fucking new metal shit, and then I can't imagine just night and day difference from
Yeah,
Like-
totally different. Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Oh,
crowd,
goodness.
the music. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
the
was-
people. It's got to. They probably would not gel in one room together.
No.
I probably should have
country-
taken a night off in between those concerts, but yeah.
No, that's great.
Yeah, for sure. Well, before we let you go, we've had such a blast. We got to do the signature rapid fire. So if you've listened to other episodes, you'll probably hear us just fire through 10 questions. We've changed up
All right.
some of them. So, all right. The first song in the rapid fire, who was your favorite athlete growing up?
Randy Moss probably.
Yeah. And really quick, I know at our golf tournament you won the bid for the John Daly cigarette signed
Yes.
picture. Where'd you end up hanging that up? I'm curious.
That's hung up in my office at in my kind of music room in Minnesota. That's hung up on the
Beautiful.
wall
Yeah, that's a
Nice.
national treasure.
right away.
Second one, if you owned a boat, what would you name it?
Oof, probably.
Oof. Yeah, that's
duh.
fitting. That plays the Minnesota card.
Love it.
Yeah.
Do you prefer Minneapolis or St. Paul?
I'd probably go Minneapolis. I think I just know it better, growing up kind of northwest Minneapolis, like on that side of the suburbs and whatnot. But yeah, I'd probably say that.
Okay. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
If you were given an all expenses paid trip to North Dakota, would you take it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right.
I got good people up there. I went to college up there. Fun time.
Good people, good hunting up there,
Yep.
good fishing. Yeah.
Yep. What's your favorite song of all time?
Might be Walking in Memphis.
Oh yeah, Walking
Yeah.
in Memphis.
Who's that by? again?
Man, I am tonight. I don't know. Lone Star did the version that I always sing,
The
but
cover.
yeah.
It's probably like.
yeah.
That's a good song. I haven't heard that one in a while. Let's see. Would you rather slap a random baby or your own grandma?
Are there repercussions from doing the baby?
No.
I'd probably do that then.
Yeah.
Sure.
I love my grandma too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who's the funniest artist you've ever met?
Funniest.
Or just like biggest character, I guess, maybe.
Probably the guys from Midland.
Really?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a hoot.
Best fast food place.
Probably Taco Bell.
Yep.
That's
And-
just classic.
Yeah, that's always a go-to answer.
You really can't go wrong with that.
Right. And the final one is just give us your strike 3 call. You got a deep
Like,
voice, so
as-
I'm
as an
expecting.
umpire?
Yeah, I'm
As an
expecting
umpire?
shit. Yeah.
Steve, right, he's out.
All right.
There you go.
Nice job. That was solid.
Love it.
Something like that.
Yeah.
You can't overthink it, right?
No.
No,
just
you
straight
can't.
to the point.
Whatever pops in your head first is what you should say.
Yeah.
Unless it's not the words you're out or strike 3, then probably not. But yeah, that'll do.
Don't say it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. Don't. No. There's inside words and there's outside words.
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
man, this has been such a blast. Let us know where can everyone listen to your music and find you.
Yeah, any of the streaming platforms, just search Anderson Daniels. I'll be on there. AndersonDanielsMusic.com has all the merch and tour dates on there. Instagram is probably where I hang out the most on social media. That's at Anderson Daniels Official, and that's where I'm chilling.
It's awesome.
Come see
man.
a show.
Sick.
Dude, we're definitely gonna come see a
Yeah.
show this summer. You gotta, we'll definitely see what the tour dates are. And
Yeah, I
try,
think
try
I
to find
saw-
something to get into.
The next one, like Winstead Festival, is one. I
Windstock,
saw.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
we
we're
need
there
to get
with,
up there. That looks like a fun time based on what I've
Yeah,
seen.
that'll be my first time playing there, but I know we're there the same night as Cody Johnson, so it'll be a really good evening. So
Yeah.
we got a bunch of stuff coming up that we haven't announced yet. So got some new music in the works that should be out here soon, and I'm excited about it.
Sweet, man. We're looking forward to it.
I love it. It's
Yeah.
sick.
Appreciate y'all for having me on, man. Let's do it again.
Absolutely.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Thanks so much, man.
Talk about one of the worst exchanges in the Twin Cities when you're trying to go eastbound through Minneapolis to St. Paul and you have to sit here in this stretch. You think that you left at a convenient time 4 hours after rush hour and you're still sitting here for 20 minutes. I mean, I've driven here at like midnight before and I've still had to sit and wait on this fucking bridge to get into the tunnel. I legitimately had to cut over just to get into this lane a ways back. And I was sitting there in the middle of the intersection and I had to flip someone off because they were honking at me while I was waiting to get in. Everything about this spot, except for people going that way, everything about this spot going eastbound on 94 is just an absolute disaster.
All right. Welcome back to It's a Bit. Awesome interview with our friend Anderson Daniels. Go out and listen to his music. He's all over Spotify, Apple Music. You follow him on Instagram. If you're a country music fan, you'll definitely like his work. But anyways, let's get into the final segment here. Buy or sell. So I'm going to name famous people around the world. It could be sports, pop culture, anyone in the news. Could be a person, place, thing, whatever. And we're going to go around and say whether we'd buy or sell that thing or individual. So as I mentioned at the end of the first segment, the Wild are kind of looking at Patrick Kane right now. Not the Wild, but fans are starting to look at Patrick Kane. I think last night, Monday night, he had a hattie against, who'd they play?
Oh shit.
I saw the video this morning.
It wasn't Seattle,
this
was
morning
it?
because Chief was just jizzing all
I don't
over it.
remember.
Yeah, I mean, it was ironic because they were just talking about how he might be traded. There was all that speculation for a week or two.
Long story short, he looked good.
Yeah, he did.
But anyways, so I think we'd have to give up a decent amount for him. It's Patrick Kane. He would basically be considered a rental, I think, based on how many people we have to pay in the offseason with the salary cap after the buyouts and all that shit. But if there was a way to make it work with the Wild this year, would you buy or sell Patrick Kane, producer Cam?
This is very hard because the fun side of me wants to buy it because it would be electric.
I'd get
and
his fucking jersey right away.
I wouldn't do that, but
He's been no.
let's fucking go. But like
Udo.
he would sell a stupid amount of jerseys, and it would just be like it would be electric. It'd be close to what it was like we brought Fleury over last trade deadline. Like it would be close to that, maybe if not like bigger. So I mean that part makes me want to buy it. At the other side, like his cap hit is 10.5. We only have 10 mil in cap left, so we're gonna have to give up some shit, and he's gonna be gone next year.
Yeah,
Because
Most likely.
because we have to pay a shit ton of players, and if we do get him, I would probably want him to be gone because he's 34 and we have younger players that we need to
I
sign.
think he's got hip issues too.
Yeah, so the like realistic side of me, like I'm out.
Jake,
Oh, yeah. See, it's really tough because of his damn age, and he's been a staple in terms of our rivalry with Chicago for the last 15 years. I remember growing up. I mean, he was drafted first overall in like 2007. So watching him that long, it's tough to say. I guess, but he's still fucking good. If we could make the deal work, I'd buy Patrick Kane.
yeah,
I'd buy Patrick Kane and find a way to even get him to stay beyond this year, if it's possible. I'd buy Patrick Kane. I've seen that guy, what he's been able to do. I remember going to a playoff game in 2015 in the second round, and the Wild lost 1-0, and guess who scored the goal? Patrick fucking Kane. And granted, that was 8 years ago, but they did win the cup. He knows how to win a cup. He's been a winner before. He knows how to do it. He still has a lot in the tank. Hockey players at 34, though, the longevity is so much longer, I feel like, in hockey than other professional sports, as long as they stay in shape. I think if we get him for the right price, give up the right things to retain that, still have the right amount of salary cap or have enough space, I'd buy Patrick Kane. I really would.
yeah.
I really would.
It's just hard. It's hard to know, I guess. So it was actually Toronto that he scored a hattie against.
Okay.
Fucking Toronto. With the people he's playing with, that's pretty impressive. I think Taze is out till like March. He's sick or something.
Yeah.
He's on my
COVID
fantasy hockey
complications.
team. Just been fucking me over because of that.
Fuck him.
Him and Cam Talbot, that son of a bitch. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, dude, Kane is still that guy. I don't see a scenario where it works if he's we're gonna have to give up prospects, which we have the best prospect pool right now in the league.
Do we want to like pick from that for a guy that we might not keep?
Right.
That's a thing.
Another thing for me too is like, obviously the Wild are my favorite hockey team. Like I'm always optimistic about them, but I have a hard time believing we can make a super deep run in the playoffs. So like, what is it worth?
Right. We need more guys than one.
Yeah.
To get it done this year.
And like I've watched games with like some of the top teams in the West and the East. Like we watched the Edmonton Rangers game the other day. Like there's no fucking way we could beat those guys in a 7-game series.
Yeah.
No.
So there's so many better.
At least with the scoring problems we've had lately, it's going to be tough.
That's
Right.
that's the thing. Patrick Kane is a guy you bring in to give yourself a deep run,
Yeah.
not just
Yeah.
But you can't tell
But
me with
no.
a straight look on your face at
And
that.
that's the other
No.
thing. Like, would he want to come here?
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
I don't think he'd want to come here at least
Yeah.
right now. If this was last year, he'd be like, "I'm all in on Minnesota. Send me there now."
He has a clause, doesn't he? So he has it's the ball's in his court, isn't it?
Yeah.
For the
He
most
get-
part,
gets to
he
decide.
really wanted to go to New York. Like when New York signed Tarasenko, he was
When
like
they
he was pissed.
I saw a thing actually when I just Googled his name while we were talking about him. They're saying that it's still possible, which would be so
It is.
stupid.
They become a
Dallas,
super team.
Dallas could make sense too. I don't know. I'm gonna sell just because I think for the long term it doesn't make sense.
No.
But I think like the NHL franchise mode side of me that lives in Banana Land would love to see it.
yeah.
Absolutely. But
Yeah.
I think from a logical standpoint, I'm gonna sell. But hashtag hockey guys, you guys like that analysis? Also,
Yep.
if you want to listen to more wild stuff from people who know hockey a little better than us, listen to our Wild Takes podcast, available on all platforms. But something more important even than Patrick Kane next is ketchup, because Patrick Mahomes won the Super Bowl. He probably took a bath in ketchup at some point. And I saw you have a tweet about it that Veach got very passionate about. He seems to get passionate about condiments and food.
Yeah.
So let's do ketchup. Cam, buy or sell?
As everyone knows, I have the palate of a 4th grader or a 4-year-old, either one. I'm buying the hell out of ketchup. It's the best condiment that there is. It's one of the only condiments that I like. So of course I'm buying ketchup.
Yeah.
Chicken tenders, fries, and ketchup. I'd eat that the rest of my life.
Yep. Jake?
I'm 120% buying ketchup. I
Hell
could
yeah.
eat ketchup plain.
I don't know about that.
I could eat ketchup plain. I might be Patrick Mahomes when it comes to ketchup.
I'll put just about not just about anything, but I use ketchup for anything that requires a condiment. Like I'm using ketchup, but I could not eat it plain.
ketchup on eggs.
That doesn't require a condiment, so no, I can't.
Oh, you're talking about requiring condiments.
It could also be a sauce.
Which requiring a condiment is a very subjective thing because it just depends on who you are.
Because I could be like, I don't want any condiments with my fries.
Yeah, and I can't do that.
But I couldn't do that either. But I'm just saying, there's
you guys
someone out there.
You guys
Right, there
can't eat
is.
French fries plain.
Oh, I can.
That depends on where
You
they're
just
from.
choose not to.
Like if you give me a good quality seasoned waffle fry, I
Yeah.
don't need to eat.
I love
will.
my seasoned sour cream and ketchup. But
Yeah, I will
Patrick
because ketchup is
Mahomes,
great. But
Yeah,
he loves his ketchup.
I'm gonna buy it too. It's not my favorite. I'm not like as in love with it as you are. But yeah, I mean, I like ketchup. Sure.
If you hate ketchup, you can go kill yourself.
Like
I'm
this
just
is
joking.
this is crazy. Like my condiments that I actually like is like ketchup, barbecue sauce, and I really can't think of another one.
Really?
Yeah.
Ranch?
Like
Huh?
I
Ranch?
don't like ranch.
What?
What?
I know, dude. It's bad. Like
do you mean it's bad?
It's bad. Like I actually hate myself for it because I genuinely don't like it, but I can't control it.
But have you
Yeah.
tried ranch?
Yes, 100%. I've tried it multiple times. Is syrup a condiment?
Yeah.
So
I
that
think
counts.
So.
So it's like
Technically.
syrup, ketchup, barbecue sauce. That's about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Chick-fil-A sauce.
Chick-fil-A. What?
Huh?
Honey mustard?
No.
Oh, fuck.
Honey mustard?
Fuck you,
It's-
Cam.
What?
I agree.
What?
I agree. It's
Not
bad.
honey mustard.
What
No.
about honey barbecue sauce?
Yeah,
That's basically barbecue
yeah.
sauce.
I
Yeah.
could do that.
Okay.
What about
Yeah.
honey? You could use that as a
True.
condiment.
Honey's okay.
You like honey? Jelly?
It's
jelly?
Is jelly a condiment?
I don't anything you squeeze out of a bottle to eat with. I call it.
I like jelly. A condiment might be a stretch, but I like jelly. I don't
Okay.
know.
Mayonnaise.
It's bad. I fucking hate mayo. And you want to know why?
Yeah.
You want to know why I hate mayo?
Why?
Because I'm not ashamed to say this. I had head lice when I was younger. And I had head lice for about 3 fucking months. Them bastards wouldn't go away. And one of the treatments we had to do was
mayo.
I put mayo in my hair and let it sit there for 3 hours.
Cam,
Fuck mayo.
You seem like a lice survivor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Hashtag lice.
have battle scars. Lice is the worst.
You got a wristband on.
Can't say I've ever had lice before, but we have to
Dude.
create a race for the cure for
Yeah.
lice for
Yep.
Cameron.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have it. That was I was 10, but
I remember that was like the thing. That was like one of those things you got as a kid that you never hear about anymore. Like, remember when you'd want to put on your buddy's hat, your mom would say, "No, like you're gonna get lice." Do adults
You gotta
get
be
lice, or is it just a kid thing?
I don't know. I got it from my baseball team because growing up playing in-house baseball, I remember it had 4 or 5 helmets.
Sure, helmets.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
it
right.
was fucking awful.
I was like, yeah.
I'm surprised I never got lice then.
Kind of surprised I didn't either, because me and my friends would be idiots and exchange hats all the time. Like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
wear my hat, I wear yours today. Like stupid
Yeah.
shit.
It's
like
more
that.
it's more of a I think it's way more I think anyone can get lice, but it's more common with kids because they're just gross.
and kids are just stupid.
I'm
so-
surprised. Well, adults can be stupid too. I mean,
That's
look
true.
how many stupid people go to the bars.
Look at us.
You know?
or like you guys know that classic girl at a bar who insists on stealing someone's hat.
Yep.
Like when a random girl takes
Take
her
my hat.
You know what?
Don't take my fucking hat.
You know what? This actually brings up a new defense mechanism. If a drunk girl takes your hat, say
I have lice.
enjoy lice.
Dude, no it doesn't.
Or she'll be like, your lice is my lice.
Well, no, I'm saying because there are girls who they might take your hat and you'll never see it again.
Yeah, but then they're gonna freak out and tell everyone that you have lice. Lice
Well,
jump.
that might ruin your chance in the
Do you know
entire
that?
bar.
You're gonna have your hat back.
If you're close enough to a person, lice literally
Yeah.
jumps from one head to the other.
Damn,
That shit's the devil.
motherfuckers are athletic.
Yeah, it's awful.
I'm shocked that there hasn't been an outbreak at any bars or anything like that.
Cuzzies would be the bar to have a
Yeah.
lice outbreak.
Well, let's be honest. Let's
here.
be honest. It's going to probably be crabs
Yeah, or that,
over lice. at a
or
bar like
why?
Cuzzies.
Or herpes
I don't
because
know. You've seen that bathroom?
dudes are
Yeah,
shitting,
they pro-
puking, and pissing in
There's-
it all at the same
like
time.
me, they're
know one
probably
of
getting
them.
it from me. I mean, they probably just jump from the fucking urinal.
Do you
as you're
admit that you have
pissing.
crabs?
No, I'm just saying that you could get them there. I feel like you could.
You probably could. All right, moving right along. Buy or sell the Full Swing Netflix documentary, which is the new documentary that documents the PGA Tour. The same people who make Drive to Survive. If you're an F1 guy or gal, what do you guys? I know you guys have all. I've finished it. You guys are going through it.
Yeah.
Cam,
done.
you buying or selling?
I'm buying. So I'm just as committed to. So my new thing. So in the winter, I was #hockey guy, and I
Yeah.
still will be till the end of hockey season. And side note, Jack
Well,
and I.
in the summer too.
yeah, because we joined a hockey league. I
Yep.
don't know. I'm scared.
And Cam's.
I'm terrified.
The 10-man thing's got to end
Yeah.
by the end of that.
Ca-
week.
yeah.
That's gonna be
Side
tough.
note, Cam and I signed up for a beginner hockey league. I'm netminder. Cam is playing forward.
position
Yeah,
are
have
you
you
gonna
decided
play?
what you want to be yet?
Probably defense because I can't fucking skate that well.
Yeah,
But
just
you got to skate backwards.
True, I'm probably forward.
There you go.
I think in the league where we signed up for, you don't need to skate backwards.
Then whatever you feel comfortable with, Cam. Just don't be Tin Man.
Skate backwards. Just
Bend your fucking knees, 2
make,
hands on the
make,
stick.
make the letter C.
yeah.
Yeah,
C
easier
cuts.
said than done.
And just
Well,
yeah.
we'll see what happens.
Anyways,
So now transitioning, like once we get into summer, it's going to be hashtag golf guy.
hashtag F1 guy too.
Yep.
I'm trying, but NASCAR's got to.
Cam, NASCAR's
Huge.
boring.
No, it's not.
It goes in circles.
No, it's fantastic.
You don't have
watch the
chicane.
last
You don't have
lap at Daytona?
chicanes. You don't have straightaways.
We have
you do
road courses.
You have straightaways.
We have a dirt race. That's sick. That's fuck.
yeah, but
Is the dirt still in circles?
You don't do
Yeah.
figure eights and shit.
Well, you don't do figure eights
Not
either.
figure eights, but we do like
We have road courses.
we do more than
quick turns. There's quick
you
turns.
have road courses. What does that even mean?
Like Watkins
That's what we.
Glen.
That's what we call like yours.
yeah.
Like we're racing at Coda, like in Austin.
Oh, that's right.
So
Okay,
we do.
Or Watkins
we
Glen.
actually have multiple.
Although
Okay.
I like to say it's funny how you're saying, well, we have road
Because I'm
courses.
just standing
like,
for
Like
NASCAR.
you're
Yeah.
literally you are NASCAR.
Look
I
at
mean,
him.
some of them, I was gonna
He's
say,
a NASCAR representative.
Fun
someone would
fact.
see your hair like you are NASCAR.
Fun fact. I actually would rather watch them go in circles than the road course. Like when there's road courses, I'm actually not as interested.
All right, that's fine.
That's a preference.
That's fine. Anyways,
that's Floridian talking.
back to full swing.
But I'm buying full swing.
Okay.
Okay.
All said and done.
Yeah, I'm very obviously buying full swing as well. I've been a fan of golf and the PGA Tour since I was a child, and what a better year to pick to document it than the live drama that kind of boiled up last summer, where there was the power struggle going on in golf, and they did a really good job, just like they do with Drive to Survive, covering the behind the scenes of it. And by the way, not to spoil anything, but the Joel Damon episode is the best of the whole
Yep.
thing. Like.
That's my next one.
Electric.
That's your next one. I think you'll hear from a lot of people that is by far because like everyone knew a lot about JT and Spieth. Everyone knew they were buddies. Like everyone knew that, Scotty Scheffler came from Texas and won the Masters. I mean, it was great to see kind of the behind the scenes of all that. But like no one really probably knew much about Joel Damon going into this documentary. And now I would not doubt if he's like a top 10 most popular player on tour.
Yeah. Even though he's, finishing, maybe not finishing quite top 10 literally in the leaderboard, but he's going to have a large following. Some of these guys are going to get big followings now just because of this documentary.
Not to spoil it, I'll just like the first few minutes, like every other player on there has like the killer competitive instinct. Like I show up knowing I'm going to win. Like I'm going to one day be the #1 world player. Like Joel Damon's like, I'm never going to win a major. Someone's got to be the 70th best player on tour.
Yeah.
Like he's
Just
just
a family
just
guy.
really a not care, have fun type attitude.
The name's escaping my mind right now, but the episode 3, the British guy, who is that on again?
Ian Poulter, yeah.
Fuck that guy.
He's,
Yeah.
he's a douchebag.
I hate that guy.
He
That
comes up
episode
as, like,
stinks.
He if he comes off like he encapsulates, I think, the negative stereotypes of Brits.
He also
British
like
people.
he's a perfect face. Him and Patrick Reed are perfect faces for the Live Tour.
Yeah.
And
Although
Brooks
Patrick
Koepka,
Reed,
yeah.
I did look at his kid. I'm like, holy shit, that's me.
Yeah,
He does kind of look like you,
kinda
yeah.
is, yeah.
What the fuck?
Except the swing cam might be a little
Oh,
better
yeah.
than yours.
And
Way better.
he's,
And mine,
he's
but-
British, so you probably got better teeth.
yeah,
True.
But he did grow up in America technically, because I think they said they grew up in
They have a house in
Permanent.
in
like,
somewhere
Florida or some shit.
the same place where Red Bull Racing has it, something Keene in England, and then they have a place in Florida.
Right, of course he does. And now
Milton
he's
Keene.
more.
There we go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I buy the documentary as well. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Watching into that, the behind the scenes, and it's beautiful.
Yep.
I love it.
Highly recommend you watch it. All right, next one is one that I bitched about all over social media today is the 394 I-94 exchange going through Minneapolis to St. Paul. This is one of those ones where I know what we're all going to say, but I just wanted to expose it. So, Cam.
Light it on fire.
Yep.
I'm selling. It's the worst thing ever.
Just light that whole corridor on fire.
Literally light it
Yeah.
on fire
Yeah,
and restart.
sure.
Yeah.
Restart.
Reconfigure it in a way that's probably more modern.
Throw an
Like,
Elon Musk tunnel
You can
in
make
there.
more space. Cut off some of Dunwoody's property because no one fucking cares about Dunwoody.
Some people go
You
there.
can-
It's a good technology.
Yeah, they do,
it's a
but
new
they don't need that
technology.
much space.
Sure.
You can. There's more room.
Or you know what? Let's make Dunwoody online.
And also,
Fuck it.
can we
make
open?
roundabouts?
Can we open the carpool lane into Minneapolis and not
No.
out of it?
No, that would
Never.
make way too much sense, Cam.
It's
No.
always closed.
No,
Yeah.
it's only open literally at like midnight on like a Thursday night.
dumb.
That's
when there's
that's
no
perfect.
rush hour.
Yeah, then there's
that's
no
great.
cars.
That's when I'm going out to Minneapolis for
It's for
the
all
bars.
the it's for all the ghost cars.
That's when I'm driving on the normal freeway.
Yeah. No, it makes no sense.
The whole thing's fucked.
No, they need to tear it up, bring Elon Musk in here to architecture it or whatever, build a tunnel under there for all I
There
care.
already is a tunnel, but let's
Not
do
that
something better with the tunnel
Yeah,
instead
fuck
of
that tunnel.
creating a place that people just drive slower through.
Like let's just put a tunnel like 10 miles under the Earth's surface.
And why can't you change lanes in a tunnel?
Or why don't we have flying cars? Like I'm pretty sure
We do.
I'm
They're
pretty
hiding
sure
from us.
the whole idea of the 21st century was that we'd have flying cars by now, and instead we have fucking Snuggies.
Yeah.
That's
That's the world of tomorrow, apparently.
I
that
guess.
we guess we truly didn't envision, but I think we do have flying cars. They're just hiding them from us.
Yep.
That's just
It's
the
like
way it is.
the
That's an
aliens
Area
and
51.
The UFOs, yeah.
Yeah, that's what's fucking happening.
Yep. Sell it, blow it up, try again.
Yep.
Just like many of my current sports franchises, same solution.
It is
there.
near Target Center, so if you blow up that I-94
Yeah.
corridor and Target Center happens to get kind of blown up with it with nobody
with
in it.
nobody
of
in it.
I'm not going to be
Nobody in
mad.
it.
We're
of
not
course.
gonna- we're
I
not-
might not be that upset.
But please avoid Target Field.
Yes.
Yeah, like make sure make sure it stops at Tom's Watch Bar and Target Field.
But
and,
so-
and once again, make sure no one dies.
Yes. It's empty. This is off season or off night. Okay. we're
There
not
would be
advocating.
an evacuation.
There would be a proper evacuation, and some people would actually argue, no, bring Target Field down with it.
Which is insane.
Which, yeah, sure.
And then guess what we should do? We should build a dome and have everyone play in that
Yes.
instead. Bring them all together.
Including a college team that is
Yeah.
well off campus.
Yep, and then like have the airflow be just terrible so that like people get blown out of it
Yeah.
for fun, and let's piss in horse troughs.
The future.
Genius.
Dude, it would be great. I'd love to see another Metrodome.
Metrodoom 2.0.
Fuck it, 2.0.
Let's consolidate.
Did you see the kid that I posted on our Twitter from TikTok who said like US Bank Stadium is
Yeah.
the worst stadium of all time? It's like, get the fuck out of here.
Are you nuts?
And then people in the comments are like, yeah, let's bring back the dome. I'm like, you are high on crack.
Well, he might be. He might
That's
be
true.
a local resident of Minneapolis, literally in
high on
downtown.
crack. Anyways, final one we have here for buy or sell for this episode. The XFL, the Extreme Football League, now owned and operated by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And our good buddy Dean Blandino, head of officiating, is finally back. So when people try to tell you that football is gone for a little while, just tell them they're wrong. We got the XFL and the USFL, which Tanner Morgan was just drafted to today, by the way.
Really?
Hell
No
yeah.
shit.
The Michigan Panthers, I think?
Yes.
Let's fucking go.
Yep.
That's a let's fucking go
that
moment.
earned one, I guess.
Yep.
But anyways, the XFL, buy or sell?
I'm buying it. All in on the Vegas Vipers.
Yep.
Big Vegas Vipers fan. It's funny. Jake and I were watching the Vegas game, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, dude, our quarterback stinks. And, like, our offense is not great. And then I watched the rest of the games. I'm like, oh, we're not that bad. It's just bad football.
Yeah,
But
I
I'm
mean,
still
it's-
all in. I'm also in on the USFL now because of Tanner.
Mm-hmm.
But something I just found out we were talking about on 10K Bets Live last night. The Arena Football League is back.
Shit.
Is
And
it
the,
really?
The Arena Football League is electric. Have you ever watched it?
Well, I remember watching it as a kid, the Iowa Barnstormers.
They're back.
And Bemidji had a team, too.
Iowa's back. Green Bay's back. But, yeah, it's
Damn,
it's
there's
fantastic.
never been more football than now.
Arena football is great because you literally can hit people into walls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
It's like hockey.
Yeah.
checking in hockey.
I'm in on all of them.
Yeah.
It's great. More
And
football, the better.
with arena football, they hang the field goal post like down from the ceiling.
Yeah,
There is no like stand that someone can jump and hump.
and they're tiny.
Yep.
Yeah. So
You do have to be careful, though, Cam. Remember, like, I called you out on Saturday. You're like,
I don't have to be careful as shit.
no, you're like, yeah, we are not looking good. I'm like, who,
Yeah.
the Vikings are playing?
No, the
Vegas
Vegas Vipers
Vipers.
are my team.
You can't.
Skull Vipes.
Just because you have those stupid ass rules for yourself and you want to be
Well,
miserable your whole
A
life
fan
doesn't mean I can't
for me
enjoy
to be
a team that
fan,
I
it
like.
develops over years.
That's for you.
From being a kid, I can't
you
be a
everyone?
fan in a week.
Are you everyone?
No.
So therefore, I
But
can do what I want.
I can. I'm going to cheer for. Maybe technically they could be my. But I'm not a fan of a team yet. That takes years to develop.
I don't know about years because I don't know if the XFL will be
Sure.
around for years.
Oh, I'm a fan.
Based
It's
on
gonna-
life of it. I think you just got to pick one and just go with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Vegas. It's
I'll follow them, but to say I'm a fan is a bit of a stretch for my personal standards of what a fan is.
That's fine, but you don't get to tell me that I can't say.
Sure.
yep.
Sure. All right, but I'm also buying the XFL because I love seeing the shit like where we were watching the game and they literally show Dean Blandino staring at the screen, talking through it with the ref. You hear fucking everything. And then the guy runs out like right after there's a touchdown, the reporter runs right into the end zone, right into the pack of the players and is trying to ask the player, what happened? What went through your head with the play and everything? And they're just getting and the guy can't even talk because he's out of breath and he's like screaming, but it's fucking great.
Yeah, so you guys remember in 2020 when the XFL started back up, sadly only for a few months thanks to COVID, the first on-field interview they did, the guy dropped an F-bomb.
Yeah.
It was on CBS, like national broadcast. So just,
the best thing I thought of the XFL this past weekend is you were talking about with Dean. Like anytime there was a review, they went to him in the booth and he explained it, everything that he was seeing in real time to the ref. Like that's genius. Why don't they do that in the NFL?
And he makes the call.
Yeah, he makes the call. Like in the NFL, there's all these controversies over like what were they thinking? Why'd they make that call? If you show that could clear up a lot of that.
it's just full-blown evidence.
It's too easy. Why haven't they thought of that yet?
I also think it's like too bureaucratic in the NFL. I feel like it can't be just one person to look at it. No, we got to have all these checks and blah, blah, blah. No, shut the fuck up. Just make the fucking right call.
That's why Dean's a genius.
If you want to hate on the XFL, like you got to realize that a lot of the great things that we enjoy as viewers of the NFL came from the original XFL. Like the kickoff cam was inspired by the XFL. On-field interviews with players was inspired by the XFL. Mic'd Up was inspired by the XFL. So we have Vince McMahon and the original founders of the 1990 whatever XFL to thank for that. And there's actually a really good documentary on it on ESPN. But all right, that just about does it for another episode of It's a Bit, folks. Thanks so much for listening. Make sure to go to our website 10ktakesmn.com to read all of our awesome blogs. Make sure to follow all of our other pages and podcasts on there as well. And make sure to follow us on all socials, 10K Takes, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Thank you guys so much, as always, for supporting us, and we'll see you next time.